here. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. It's Monday, July 15th. How are you all doing? I just want to say, I'm riding with Biden. Are you riding with Biden? And justice matters. Yes, it does. Even though we're not seeing justice, it still matters. How are you doing? How are you holding up? People were kind of begging me to come on over the weekend after Saturday night's events. I politely declined. Lots of layers there. Lots of layers. Electrostorm's doing fine. That's good. Well, things are happening rapidly. On Friday, I did mention that we were in the middle of an attempted authoritarian takeover. We're in the middle of that. We're in the middle of an attempt to take over our democracy. And I knew that Trump would pick J.D. Vance. I got that hit really like months ago, and I had mentioned it here a couple times. Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. Yes, Jack Smith already has appealed Judge Cannon's dismissal. What do you mean, Judge Cannon's dismissal? Oh, the dismissal, yeah. So what we're witnessing is, what we're witnessing is a choice moment. We're in a choice moment, and it's not just a moment. It's been going on for a while, and it's going to last a little while. And if you are talking to people about what's going on, you can say to them, no matter how many issues which are really just a result of the media, no matter how many issues that they say, Joe Biden this and Joe Biden that, and despite the fact that we have the best economy in the world and we have record job numbers and the stock market keeps hitting these highs, and businesses are doing great, and climate change initiatives are happening, and people are working, and we're all doing pretty well. I mean, relatively, it could be a lot worse, right? I'm able to have food, and I'm able to have a place to live, and I'm able to meet with you guys, and I'm able to live in a beautiful place. That's a real blessing and a gift. I've always appreciated where I live. And people have lots of reason to be up and to be optimistic. I think a lot of people are not watching the RNC, and I also think a lot of people opted out of going. So we'll get to that. So here's the thing. When you're talking to people and they are saying, oh, well, I don't know, Biden's old, and I don't know, Biden's this, and without even looking at what he's done for this country, here's what you can say. The only hope for us keeping a democracy is Joe Biden. Look at it, right? The only hope for us keeping our democracy is Joe Biden. I like to put things, maybe it's because I'm a writer, I'm a songwriter. It's probably because I'm a songwriter. I like to put things, fit a lot of meaning into just a few words. It probably is from that, because that's what you have to do. If any of you write songs or poems, you have to put a lot of information into a short, snippet. And we're kind of in a world like that anyway. The only hope for keeping our democracy is Joseph R. Biden. Let's just get that through everybody's. Some people have thick heads. I understand. It's just we're finding out really, and maybe disturbingly true terms. We're finding out that a lot of people don't use their brains. J.D. Vance could not be more unqualified for VP. We'll read on that tonight. What I ask people to not ask me to read on is the actual assassination attempt. The reason I don't want to read on it is because I feel like I know too much. And it wouldn't be helpful for me to share that. And I know that's probably really mean of me to even say that. I'll drop little hints. The world is upside down, yes. We need to turn it right side up. Will J.D. Vance lose his Senate seat? We'll take a look at J.D. Vance. I think those of you who have been here, MAGA Vance, those of you who have been here for years now, or just months, might remember that I had said that J.D. Vance, when he was a never-Trumper, and he had written that book, Hillbilly Elegy, which I never read. I don't know. I guess it sold pretty well. He's a poser, that is for sure. Because I do mediumship, I kept having this sense of like J.D. Vance's grandfather. Oh, for Joe, not the psycho. I kept having a sense of J.D. Vance's grandfather, his spirit, being around him as J.D. Vance's spirit guide. I didn't know MSNBC pulled Joe and Micah this morning because I didn't turn it on. But we can look at that. J.D. Vance's grandfather is very not pleased with J.D. Vance not having integrity. And I don't know if he mentioned his grandfather in his book, Hillbilly Elegy. I don't know anything about that. But I do know that I do pick up on his grandfather. So perhaps he was... Let me put this one on the other side. Perhaps he was close to his grandfather, or I'm not sure. I mean, you guys might know. He called the former guy Hitler. Well, we're going to talk a little bit, not about, see, what I don't want to answer questions about is what was going on with that assassination attempt, because I just can't go there. It's very, very, very dark. The whole thing is very dark, and I'm not saying that it was a setup. Yeah, it sounds like the seagulls agree, right? You listen to the animals. But J.D. Vance is, he's a poser, that's for sure. And I feel like his grandfather on the other side is going, nope, not a good road, not a good path. So there's that. Joe Biden is a stand-up guy. Joe Biden is a good man. And don't think for 1 second that the American people don't understand what a good person is. Don't think that the American people don't understand what somebody who cares looks like and sounds like and feels like, because we're all psychic. Don't think the normal American people want Trump. The image, I'll show it to you real quick if you didn't see it, of Trump going down for the count, kind of. Hang on 1 second, because I do want to show you this. I'm not showing the image, I'm just showing you the expression on his face. Look at the expression on his face. And then after that, what he did was he went back. He put the lives of his Secret Service guys at risk because the shooter they didn't know how much more he was going to shoot. But he's so programmed to sell. He's so programmed. This dude, he's so programmed to sell. In that moment, in the heat of the moment, he just like backtracked, even though they were trying to rush him into a safe place. He was like, oh no, oh but wait, there's an active shooter. Oh, but wait, I have to get my photo op. And when he ever did this, the what do we call that? That's not blood, it's magic marker. The Josh Hawley being in solidarity with the insurrectionists, when he ever did that and he said fight, that was his marketing moment. That was his branding moment. That was what he's wired and programmed to do. And he knew full well that that photo was going to be plastered all over the news, all over the world. And it was all about the strongman, authoritarian. Remember when he had COVID and he went back to the White House after he'd been at Walter Reed? He was so stupid to keep saying it wasn't real. And then he got the bad kind and he almost died. And he goes back into the White House, and reportedly what he wanted to do was to have a Superman shirt underneath his shirt, so that he could be on that foyer on the balcony of the White House and pull open his shirt, and so that you could see Superman. Because that's what he's all about. And I know I'm not telling you something that you don't already know. How do I look? Do I look strong? I am pretty hard working for democracy. Thank you for acknowledging it. I hope you all are too. So what ended up happening was the MAGAs picked up on that. And let's understand that the MAGAs, malignant narcissists, Gloria. Let's understand that the MAGAs, I don't want to make you freak out, but I think you already know this. MAGA is has a lot of similarities to the Taliban in a certain way, because their way of this Christian nationalism is the only way. Yes, Jack Smith is going to appeal. And that's what we're up against. And when I actually tuned into the RNC, I actually felt like a couple of things, a lot of things. But one of the things that I felt, they are the Taliban. Well, they're not really developed to that point yet. And we're not going to let them. I actually felt that after the shooting on Saturday night, I mean, wouldn't you? People thought twice. Warren, I'm in the middle of something. People thought twice about going to the RNC convention. Warren, it's not that I don't know that question is out there. Just so you know. Lots of love. Open carry at the RNC convention. There they were. Hey, Damon. There they were at a Trump rally. The shooter, it's so tragic, was a lost boy, 20 years old. And they don't know, and he was a registered Republican, right? But to go to the RNC convention, all these people that are Trumpsters would have to take into consideration somebody could smuggle a gun in. If they even have, those metal detectors. Let's ask the pendulum if a significant amount of people opted out of going. We'll read on alien canon. Magnet I can't read. Magnet monitors or something. The ones that Trump didn't want there to be at January 6th. I'm really done with people saying January 6th didn't happen. And by the way, J.D. Vance says, it didn't happen. That is so infuriating. Yeah, there are lots of seagulls behind me. I have the window and door open a crack because it's a nice breeze. And the seagulls had babies. You got a strong yes. You did the reading for me because I'm blabbing. How did Eric Trump become a Florida delegate? We need to pay attention. We need to not have these idiots running our country. Yeah, so Rose got a yes. Yeah, I got a strong yes that a lot of people opted out of going to the RNC convention. I did see a live feed of what was going on there. People were just mulling around, but there were a lot of empty spaces. A lot of empty seats. I wouldn't go. If I had been at a Democratic rally and something like that happened, I wouldn't go to an event where, Would you? Uh, okay. News coverage showed a half-full convention center. I don't think... Deb Hopkins is saying, don't you feel like the energy is off everywhere? Yeah, because it is. Thank you for the donation. The other thing about the RNC convention that Midas Touch showed a clip of it was that, you know, Trump did the fight, right? So guess what they're saying? Magnetometers, thank you. I couldn't pronounce it earlier. Thank you, Michael. Much appreciated. Thanks for the donation. Little bell for you. So what are they saying? Fight, 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 right? That's what they're saying. So what we have to really recognize, because it's really important that we recognize it, is we have a segment of the American population that's calling for violence. They're calling for violence. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but right before the rally, Trump tweeted out something, or Truth Social, or Lie Social, whatever you want to call it, that said all hell is going to break loose. And all hell did break loose. And you know, I just want to mention that we did a show, Kathy Beale and I did a show last week. And I was struck by how many times Kathy Beale said the astrology was pointing to explosive. And she kept using words that were like, after a while, I think I even said, you keep using these really strong words. Something about, if you're an astrologer, Mars is doing some wonky things. So they're not expecting a peaceful time at the convention. All right, so he said there'd be chaos in about an hour, which you're nipping at the heels of the questions that I won't answer about the assassination attempt. There was a word. 3 different planets come together today. Okay, I will just tell you, before we start pulling some cards, there was a word, you know, I can't really avoid... Okay. I'm going to say this one thing, that this, about this situation, I'll just leave the topic of that shooting. Sometimes the guides just throw me a word and then just, you know, leave me to figure it out. And so I got the word mercenary about that shooter. And because I don't really know what that means, I just wanted to mention it. If you want to kind of pay attention to your own feelings about what was going on, you're probably right. I know that Donald Trump doesn't care about other people at all, because he showed not one hint of concern for the person who was unfortunately murdered and his family. And there were several people that were injured. He showed absolutely no concern. If, God forbid, that happened to a Democrat, well, we know it happened to Nancy Pelosi's husband. There was an assassination attempt on her husband. He made a mockery of it. This man is just, he's not even a man. He's demonic. Yeah, that's the only thing I want to say about, like, the shooter in terms of, you know, information just comes in, and I got that word, and I don't even really know what it means. I'll look into it further. So Trump is out golfing. Yeah, Biden called the family. She didn't take the call. Trump hasn't called her at all. At least he called. At least he called. Because that's what Joe Biden does. Because Joe Biden is a statesman, and he's a good man, and he has a heart, and he has a soul, and he has compassion, and he has kindness. Let's remember, when the bridge collapsed, what happened? He called the families of the men who were lost in that bridge collapse. Donald Trump doesn't have it in him. He's not wired to care. Thomas is in the hospital with a lung infection. Is he? Oh, Sharon Sipe is here. Look, you won a tea leaf reading. We have an anonymous donor who purchased tea leaf readings and gave me names of people. Was there a bandage on his ear in those golf photos? I don't know. Let's pull some cards. Oh my goodness, where did they go? Do I always do this? I do. I'm always looking for my cards. Hang on a second. Some of you may already know that I went to see Glenn Kirshner last night. He was in Boston. And that was fun. And he offered to hang out with us, so let's see. Stay tuned for that. Oh, Kathy Beals and Lois, I think the info about Clarence is 2 years old. Why is somebody saying it now? Oh, Kathy, while you're here, let me make the announcement that our show is not this week, it's next week on the 23rd. We had it. I screwed up there. All right, well, Kathy, people are saying that Clarence Thomas is in the hospital with a lung infection, which is in alignment with what we saw. We keep seeing big health problems for him. So let's see. Oh. No. Are you talking about, you're saying Thomas, so I'm not getting that Clarence Thomas is in the hospital. Do you mean our Thomas? Oh, today's Sharon Sipes' birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sharon. Happy birthday to you. You, Leo. No, wait, can't. What sign are you? You're a Cancer, right? Yes. Oh, I'm glad you're okay, Thomas. So who are you guys talking about? The Supreme Justice. I think I confused the pendulum. Let's see. Is Clarence Thomas in the hospital presently? Maybe he's home. Maybe he has nurse aid or something. I'm not getting that he's in the hospital currently. Is Clarence Thomas currently ill? He is currently ill, but I think he's kind of in between. Okay, so Kathy Beal is saying it's inaccurate. Okay. It's inaccurate. We know that his health isn't good. That's why it was doing this. So maybe he will be. Warren, give us a topic for the group hug. While I sip my tea, I'm getting various reports about Clarence Thomas. So it's kind of hard, I guess, to find the truth. Who shall I read about? Oh, all right. So I'm waiting for Warren to give me a topic because he's going to keep asking for a group hug. Survival for hug? Do you mean that we survive? Okay. Group hug. That we're all in this together and that we Democrats get stronger. All right. Okay. Now, you did survival through these strange times. I don't understand what you're saying there. So that was what you wanted to hug about? We'll survive. We'll survive. We've been through a lot. We have been through a lot. And let's just acknowledge that, you know what? It's been a barrage of takedowns of our democracy, of our justice system, of our education system, of really, the laws. It's been like a takedown of decency, of attempted takedown totally of democracy, a takedown of women's rights, a takedown of voting rights, a takedown of the president, being accountable to the law. It's been takedown after takedown after takedown, And then taking down the accountability for stealing our secret documents and giving them to our enemies, because we know that happened, right? It's been a lot. And then today, we see them turning around. This is why I had such a bad feeling. It's probably why you did too. After, it feels like we're losing. Yes, it does feel like that, doesn't it? Because that's what they want us to feel. The media is making us feel like we're losing. So it's been a lot. I mean, how often do you turn on the media and they tell you about the good things that Joe Biden has done? It's been a lot. So I want us to acknowledge right now, let's take a deep breath together. This is a lot. It's really hard when good people look like they're not being put on a platform, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. In and out. The media is losing viewers. I think that's true. I didn't watch any news all day. Dad joke, why did the God of Thunder need to stretch his legs? Because he was a little Thor. That's cute. It's a time that we all absolutely must get involved. So anyway, what they're attempting to do is the ridiculous. What they're attempting to do is the ridiculous. What the MAGAs are attempting to do is, let's just call it the ridiculous. Anderson Cooper, when CNN was relatively cool, had a segment called The Ridiculous, right? They even got rid of that. Pulling weeds is good therapy, I bet it is. So, it's not easy. So they had a ready-made script for what to say after the shooting, which I find odd. And they turn it around and they're trying to make it's just total pathos. They're trying to say it's because the Democrats are always talking about violence. It's because of Democrats. They're always saying, bad things about Trump. It's because of Democrats. That's what that shooter was influenced by, the Democrats. Because the Democrats just won't shut up about the violence. The Democrats want violence. Do you remember? I'll get to the cards in a moment. Do you remember the second impeachment hearing? I want to know if you guys remember this, because so much happens and we forget, and it was a little while ago. The impeachment hearing about January 6th when Mitch McConnell just gave him a pass. Yeah, Mitch McConnell did that. And all that we're going through is because all these mamby-pambies gave Trump a pass on all the criminality. And the lawyers for Trump during that hearing stood up and they were like finding clips of Elizabeth Warren saying the word fight and this one saying the word fight. Finding clips of all the Democrats that were saying the word fight, because that's what we say during a campaign. That's what we say when we're losing our rights. We want to fight for our rights. So they tried to use that as proof back there during that hearing. They tried to use that to say, the Democrats, they want violence. The Democrats are the only party that want gun controls. If you're not mad, you're not paying attention, and if you're mad, it's time to get into action. I'm pulling 3 cards on this rhetoric. I'm pulling cards on this rhetoric. How that's going to go for them, having all this rhetoric. And Elon Musk is behind it, by the way. The billionaires are behind it. Hey, Von Blue. Oh, by the way, send your photos for our Friday night slideshow after PNN at the end. Send your photos in. I've loved seeing your photos. To My website, psychicannetteDion.com. Billionaires are for fascism. Yes, because I love seeing your pictures. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to look and see if the rhetoric is going to work. Where they're blaming, I mean, who was it? Was it Mike Collins, I think his name is, who immediately after the assassination attempt on Trump, immediately tweeted out that Biden, he really should be removed. He immediately tweeted out that Biden ordered that. Now, let's remember, this is a red flag. Let's remember 3 weeks ago when Trump started saying to all his MAGA cult members, the Biden administration is trying to have me assassinated. 3 cards on whether the project much, right? 3 cards. Now, I don't think that it was a setup, but I do think the way that they dealt with it was a setup. And I had a couple of days, and I think we all needed a couple of days just to stop and process and reflect. That we're not talking about the tragedy of a shooting and AR-15s, and instead we're talking about who gets the blame for influencing this kid. It's really unbelievable. It's disgusting. They want Biden to stop talking about protecting our democracy. They want people to stop talking about that it's a fascist takeover plan. Dad joke, what's a therapy where you sit and eat pasta and talk about your trauma? Penny for your thoughts. That sounds like a good idea. That does sound good. Here I go with the double numbers again. You know, when I keep getting these double numbers in these readings that I'm doing on PNN, tells me we're really at choice point. For a guy who just got shot, he did an awful lot of posing. Totally spot on. So true. So as far as... I need a more functional table. As far as the rhetoric, they're going to try to do everything possible to mind control the American public. Think Russia. Bon Blue is saying you only watch the evening news. I haven't watched any news. I can't even. Is the rhetoric going to work? They're going to attempt to basically to hypnotize the American people, which they can do through the internet, through subliminal seduction, through pounding away, saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over. I stopped watching mainstream media right after the debate. 5 aunts rented an apartment and another 5 aunts. Now they're 10 aunts. Bum. Okay. Is the lying and rhetoric going to work? So I have the 3 of Swords, which is inflicting pain, and the 3 of Cups. The more we learn about the pain, the more we're rising up. Because that's a card of celebration. This is a card of heartbreak. The more we see the pain and the cruelty, the more we're rising up. So we will see people getting way more involved when the more news about Project 2025 comes out. And also when they're shoving violence down our throats like that's a good thing. Thank you, Catherine. Thanks for your donations. When they're shoving violence down our throats and saying that that's a good thing. Like, how about this? That's what I was just saying. There was a shooting. 20-year-old kid. they had to shoot him. I mean, I think about the Secret Service or whoever had to shoot him. I think about that poor person. That has to give you PTSD. I don't care how trained you are. I think about the tragedy of that event. How did we just like skip over that? We can't go all numb and callous. We have to, that's part of it. You know, they're trying to make us numb. Sometimes I wonder if people are just so comfortable that they need, you know, like the same reason that people go to horror movies. Because they need to like scare themselves just to feel like they're here. Okay, I'm blabbing away. I realize that. Become a member of my channel. Mainstream news should use a disclaimer for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, right. And the psychics don't have to. How about all the onlookers who were telling the police there was a person crawling on the roof? I don't understand what your point is, Rose. I don't like Friday the 13th series and it. No, see, I guess my life was exciting enough. I didn't need to watch horror movies. I have too good of an imagination. I would have. Scary movies that I've seen. I mean, did you see The Sixth Sense? You must have seen The Sixth Sense. That movie scared the hell out of me. And then what was the other one? Something about... It'll come to me. I'm in my psychic brain. That's going to drive me crazy. Is it like abnormal occurrences or something? Yeah, The Sixth Sense was very scary because I told my guides I don't want to see ghosts, but I feel them. Is it true the Secret Service shooter had been fired? Has been fired? I don't know. I hadn't heard that. I mean, if he had to shoot, I mean, the kid had an AR-15. Then he saved lives. So he should have been, you know, gone on leave to recover. I can't think of the name of that movie. There were two of them. And there was a demon in the house, and he was haunting this girl, and it was like a Blair Witch Project type. Alright, 3 cards about the loser. We'll just still call him the loser. No, it wasn't Poltergeist. Right after I go off, I'm going to remember. It wasn't Scary Movie. It wasn't Jason. I'm trying to stay on track. How the loser's doing. They said a cop went up a ladder, saw the shooter, and ran back down the ladder. Well, wouldn't you? An AR-15, you're obliterated on the spot. I think that we're too in our Hollywood brains, and we don't. Well, not that we want to know what it is like, but maybe we should read up on it, and so we'll be more huger advocates for, you know, gun laws. This is about the loser. Okay, so the loser, the tower, it's just a matter of time before the loser loses his way. I am not just saying that. You know what I got? You heard the cup fell down. You know what I got about the loser is that actually he's not okay psychologically from that happen. From that, I was saying this to and text to Kathy earlier that it happened, but it was the first time that Donald Trump was in a situation where his life was in danger. First time in his life that his life was in danger. So I'm pulling cards about him. He's never been remotely, yeah, Angela, he does have PTSD. I definitely picked that up. He's never been remotely close. He's always been in a bubble. He's always been in a bubble. Lisa, no way that Trump did not know about it. No way. Well, I said that I'm not going to get into that. The bullet went right by him. He never thought someone might shoot him. Yeah. Okay, so as far as how he's doing, the Seven of Cups is indicating that he's kind of like, well, this is about being worried. And they have open carry at this Republican National Convention. And they seem to be pretty lax about things like that. And I have the Tower card. There's a lot. He's very, very worried. I don't care how much of. I mean, if somebody has to really show you, I'm strong man, I'm tough. Look, I have blood on my face. I'm tough. Fight. If he has to do that, how strong? Yeah, now he's talking about cheating death. How strong is he really? Open to carry gun? Yeah, it's an open carry state. Dad joke, I taught my kids about anniversary. Hang on, we got to do the dad jokes because they lift the energy. Taught my kids about democracy tonight by having them vote on which movie to watch and pizza to order. I then picked the movie and pizza because I'm the one with the money. Just like what the oligarchs are trying to do. Okay, I kind of lost the plot there. Anyway, it's just a matter of time before Trump loses his mind. It's just, yeah, Wisconsin is an open carry state. That's what people were saying in the chat on Tuesday when we did our show with Kathy Beale, because Kathy Beale kept saying what was coming up this week was going to be explosive. And then people in the chat kept on rating that, you know, people in Wisconsin, they pack heat. What about Trump insulting Milwaukee? Oh, even more so. I mean, somebody's saying, you mean he hasn't lost his mind already? Oh, even more so, because now not only is he losing his mind to dementia, and that's true. Not only that, but now he has PTSD. Yeah, you watched a clip of them saying, fight, 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 and all you could think of was, yes, hillbilly brawl. Let's ask if there's going to be a hillbilly brawl. And besides, there's a lot of pro-democracy YouTube channels that are running, like Midas Touch, several others too, that are showing clips, just speaking about what I was speaking about earlier, about who's the one that talks about who's the party that talks about violence. There are, I don't know how many, a huge number of ads throughout the years, and up until still now, by so-called Republicans, that they're sporting assault rifles in the ad. And that's why I read about that, because about how well that gaslighting is going to go, because they're the ones with the ads, not the Democrats. The Democrats have ads about gun laws and gun reform, and the MAGAs have ads, and they wear their pins, the AR-15 pins. They have all that. They have all these ads about, oh, let's, shoot the rhinos. It's right in front of our eyes. We can see it. And also we can see, we were there for January 6th, J.D. Vance. We saw it with our eyes, and we felt it with our hearts. Stay cool, my babies. Will he appear live on stage? He hasn't already? I mean, I don't know. Oh, and are you with me on this? I cannot. It's like fingernails down a chalkboard with Marjorie Trader Green's voice more than ever. There's so many things the past week or so. I have not. So many people. I haven't been able to listen to their voices. They are just. They're lying. Will there be a brawl at the Republican convention? I'm getting a yes on that. So repulsive. But I hadn't gotten to the point where I just really can't even turn it on. I cannot, maybe it's self-care. I cannot listen to Donald Trump's voice. I cannot listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene's voice. I'm sure I'm not going to be able to stand to listen to J.D. Vance's voice. Anybody on Fox, not that I watch Fox, but there are clips. What do you want me to read on? Oh, you just joined. Oh, well, let me take this moment while we're deciding what to read on. When you become a member, you get an affirmation in your inbox 7 days a week. You start your day with an affirmation. It's great. I write them. Sissy's here. Hi. And I'll just do a little short commercial while we're deciding what else to read on. Warren, I'm not going to read on that right now. Maybe something related to canon. I have a class coming up. We're in a summer psychic school series. The class coming up on Saturday is on past lives. How your past lives are affecting you now. Check it out, psychicannetteDion.com. My classes are really fun. We had a tarot class last Saturday. Will they figure out who paid off Cannon? All roads lead to Russia. To book a reading, psychicannetteDion.com. I've got plenty of time in my schedule, so if you want some insight, I'm here for that. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Christine is asking, does anyone have a feeling something's going to happen that changes everything? I actually have had that feeling for a long time. And those feelings are usually very spot on. Trump stock is surging after the Butler rally. Did you see me just go, yeah, right. I don't believe that. Okay. Is something major going to happen that shifts things? Yes, something major will happen that shifts things. Watch the dominoes fall for Trump. The nightmare has just begun. Read on what's the better dad joke. Who's the better dad joker? Well, you're the better one because you give us more jokes. Yes, Jack Smith will appeal the ruling of Cannon. Did you guys miss that? He already has. Let's read on that. I'll read on it, Warren. It's just like when you ask questions about it, you want it's like you want like so much information. We'll ask about Aileen Cannon. We're just gonna ask about her. I've always said that I saw her being ousted, so I'm not really paying attention to what she did today. Poor Warren. Give Warren a virtual hug. Yes, Thomas will always be the founder of the dad joke. Does Biden get the October surprise from? I hate that term, the October surprise. I just don't like that term. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of seems weird to me. Anyway, Aileen Cannon. I got 4 cards. The Knight of Swords. That's Jack Smith. She's a fool. The Queen of Cups. This is another. I'm getting something about Judge Chutkin talking to Jack Smith about the next step. And the 5 of Swords. It's going to be challenging for Aileen Cannon. I think she has just ruined her career. Hey, oh, I'm glad you found us. A lot of these people are banking on fascism winning. a lot of these people that are rallying around Trump, literally, are banking on the fascistic takeover. Can't even say it. They're banking on fascism winning. A lot of these people, Aileen Cannon is one. It makes me crazy that they have no idea if that ever happened. They have no idea if that ever happened. This must make you crazy too. They would lose everything that makes them happy. If that ever happened, we're not going to entertain those ideas. They would lose everything. You got to drive that point home to people. We're in the same color right now. It's an unusual color. We're all tuned in. But I don't see this leading in a good direction for Aileen Cannon. Thank you, Sharon. Make sure you reach out to me for your tarot, not your tarot, your tea leaf reading. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, it's Monday night. Midas Touch is on tonight, so we have to end on time. We still have a few more minutes, right? Yeah. All right. Joe Biden is under the pressure of people scrutinizing his every word and putting him under the microscope, and therefore last night he, I think it was a Freudian slip, he said a couple times, he said the battle box instead of the ballot box. I think that was a Freudian slip. Let me repeat. Our only hope for keeping democracy is Joseph R. Biden. It is that simple. Let's not complicate things, because that's what mainstream media wants you to do. Project 2025 treats women like crap. Think the Middle Ages. And that's just one item. Now, I do have to pick from a different deck to have some happy cards, but I seem to be sticking with the nefarious cards. Let's, gosh, there's so many ugly things to read on. Which one should I pick? Mitch McConnell has been bought. Oh, but we knew that, right? I'm getting ready to read tea leaves, but I'm going to pull a few more cards. Let me pull 3 cards about... Let's go to Abbott. Let's just go to Abbott. Thank you to my wrenches. Thank you to my wrenches for the troublemaker in the chat. I really appreciate you. Pretty fast. Okay, I've heard like 10 times now Clarence Thomas is in the hospital, which is right in alignment with our predictions for Clarence Thomas. Indian women are Hindi, not Indian, I thought. I'm losing you guys. I'm not really sure what you're talking to. It's hard to follow along sometimes. Hey, Abbott. Thank you for reminding me who I'm reading on. Dad joke. Did you hear about the man who froze himself to absolute zero? He's okay now. Greg Abbott. Well. He's reveling in the cruelty that he's inflicting on other humans. Greg Abbott is reveling. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable to me, but that's what sociopathic, murderous types of people. This is my card that represents Putin. I think Abbott came back from South Korea. It's interesting because it's very, very, very strong that Greg Abbott, he hates Houston because it's blue. Okay. Derives great pleasure from inflicting pain on other humans. How do these people get in office? That's what I'm getting, but I am definitely getting a fascist connection. This is the pain. However, it is a 9 of Swords, so it means that he's in pain too. I don't think it's really working out too good for him. But he does enjoy that. But the 9 of Swords means he's not like resting easy either. I feel like he's got people after him. I do. Now, I actually feel a lot of positive. Let's go to some positive cards before we read the tea leaves, and then we'll go watch Midas Touch. And I don't know why Joe and Mika weren't on this morning. Somebody was asking. Why would that be? They might have gotten death threats. Real quick. Since I'm not watching mainstream media, I wonder what's going on there. Because it's I don't watch things that are dark. You're saying Greg Abbott was humiliated by what happened in Texas? I don't get that, if that's what you're referring to. I don't get humiliation. He likes to inflict cruelty and pain. Remember the razor wire fences in the river there? Okay. Let's do this. Let's not read the pendulum on that right now. I want to read on Joe Biden. I feel a lot of positive energy around Joe Biden. I actually feel like God's honest truth. This shooting and this chaos and this crazy, I mean, I say God's honest truth like that's what I'm feeling, to me, my opinion. That's what I'm getting. Is that this shooting, for a lot of Americans, is really like, do we have to still be doing this? Do we have to just keep going down this road of violence? Do we have to keep having people die at the hands of a shooter? It's actually leading more people into waking up. I think that's why I'm feeling a lot of support for Joe Biden right now. Because we're faced with a choice. We have this choice right now, and it's like, do we want our children? I mean, if you're a parent or a grandparent, I mean, I mentioned that I've got 3 grandnephews that are the cutest things I ever did see in my life. They're just so funny and so adorable. I feel it's backfired too. I'm picking up on all this support for Joe Biden. I didn't realize he was doing an interview tonight. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about Joe Biden. Thomas has a dad joke for you, Warren. Can you read it? I'm trying to read cards. I'm sure it's funny. 9 o'clock on NBC? Okay, we'll watch Midas Touch first. I really do feel like Biden has a lot of support right now. Like it's really building. Really what we're doing, let's just be really concise, really clear. Do we want to see people gunned down by violence, or do we want love? Right? Do we, honestly, don't we isn't love kind of a good thing? All kinds of love. Joe Biden, The Three of Cups is a celebration card, not celebrating the horror that's going on, but that people have his back. He has a lot of support. People have his back. What this is people are celebrating him being a good man. Love wins. Love wins. I came across that line today and I was like, I have a song by that title. I need to pull it out. Going back into the studio tomorrow to record another song. The Four of Wands. Yes, Biden's holding steady. And the Three of Wands. Biden is holding steady. Now for the GOP earlier, I got the Three of Cups, but I got the Three of Swords too. Biden is holding steady. Don't forget it. I recommend that you don't watch the mainstream news. It's so dark that I can't. So dark with the slantedness and I don't know if they're still continuing to bash Biden, but that's when I signed off on mainstream news. Let me pull this cup up and show you some tea leaves, and then we'll go. In the meantime, don't forget to sign up for a reading, sign up for a tea leaf reading, sign up for a class this Saturday. You can sign up for the rest of the classes if you want. This Saturday we have a class on past lives. My classes are wicked fun. I just want you to know that. I've got people in the chat that I think they're here that can attest to that. Yeah, Michael, right? They're still bashing Biden. Yeah, I'm not. Okay, everybody, before I read the tea leaves, send a feedback complaint to all the mainstream media and say, stop bashing Biden. I'm boycotting. It's a Biden bashing boycott. What do you think of that? Wicked mad. Because it's working. Because reportedly, they're losing viewers. There are 220 million registered voters in the USA. Polls are not accurate. No, it's all BS. Oh, now I remember what I was looking at the pendulum about. So let me just do that because it kind of slipped my mind. It was about MSNBC. Did Joe and Mika, were they told not to come in? Wow. Did they say something that upset corporate? No. Are they changing things at MSNBC? No. Was it just a temporary thing? It looks like it was a temporary thing that they weren't on. Yes, I'm always reading MSNBC. But I stopped now that I'm not watching them. Oh my goodness, there's a big arrow in Jupiter. Oh my gosh, look at that. See, there's a big arrow going into Jupiter. There's some good that's happening. Really directly good things happening. I know it's hard to believe that, but the good is becoming clearer. As the bad and the evil becomes stronger, the good becomes stronger too. So be expansive in your thinking about democracy winning. See it? See the arrow? Be really clear in your intention that democracy wins. Do not fall into the temptation of thinking the hatred is going to win. It isn't. Hatred is not going to win. Is that a teepee in the middle? It is what you think it is. This is where we are, where we're headed. It looks like chaos, but I actually see an animal there that looks like a big fat animal. What is that? trying to figure out what that is. It looks like a big bear. Right? The beauty of a pyramid. Yeah. There's a lot going on in here, but it's a lot of good and a lot of creativity. I see animals. I see really... there's a kind of a harmony in this little... It's like people working together. Pyramid energy. Yeah, it's like a pyramid. It's like people working together. I've been talking to Church of Spirituality. This month is about divine autonomy, about using our individual gifts and talents to contribute to the whole. The sermon yesterday was excellent. Check out Church of Spirituality. It has its own channel now. Yes, triangle, which is very stable, but what makes us stable is our working together, using all our resources and our common vision to come together. I actually feel a lot better after looking at the tea leaves and the cards tonight. I do. It's an arrow with a heart. Yes, it's an arrow with a heart. So there's going to be more love. Because you know what? Let me tell you this. After a shooting, and it's so tragic that we go through this as much as we do. After a shooting, and I really wanted to know that people were doing this. And I did hear people of YouTube channels say, like Brian Tyler Cohen said, he had to take a step back, as did I. Love wins. Because thinking people that are normal when there's a tragic event like that, we kind of go inward and we're in a little bit of mourning and we're processing, right? And we think about the kind of love, the kind of, country that we want, and that love is how we get there. After 9/11, we all were nicer to one another. No, Trump did not do anything. He did not call the family. It was all about him. Nobody likes people that are that way. So, I want to thank you for joining me. Please support my business by donating, becoming a member, booking a reading. I'm really 100% dependent on what I take in from my YouTube channel. And so I appreciate you all that help. Yeah, he went golfing. Yeah. We need this community now more than ever. I may be adding more videos. I almost did it today. I'm going to be adding more videos that are shorter. So look forward to that. I love you all. I'm so glad that we're here together. Glenn Kirshner said he would join us at some point. So shout out to Glenn if you're watching. We're doing great work. Join grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Tomorrow we have a guided meditation for a healed America. Come meditate with us. Namaste. See ya.